What if I told you that over 1,300 years ago, one woman rose from being a teenage concubine to becoming the most powerful ruler in China? In a world where women were expected to obey men, she did the impossible. Her name was Wu Zetian, and she remains the only woman in Chinese history to officially rule as emperor. Her story is so extraordinary that it almost sounds like fiction. Wu Zetian was born in the year 624 into a wealthy family. Unlike most girls of her time, she received a good education. She learned to read, write, and understand politics, skills that would later change the course of history. At just 14 years old, she entered the imperial palace as one of Emperor Taizong's concubines. Although she held a low rank and had little influence, Wu carefully observed how the court worked. She watched powerful ministers, studied the emperor's decisions, and learned the art of politics. When Emperor Taizong died, tradition required many of his childless concubines to enter a Buddhist convent. Wu's future seemed over, but history had other plans. A few years later, Taizong's son, Emperor Gaozong, brought Wu back to the palace. She quickly gained his trust and eventually became his empress. As Gaozong's health declined, Wu gradually took on more responsibility. She reviewed government documents, advised on important decisions, and met with officials. Before long, she was effectively governing the empire alongside him. When Gaozong died, Wu continued to guide the government through her sons, who briefly became emperors. Eventually, in the year 690, she made an unprecedented move. She declared herself emperor, not queen, not empress, emperor, the highest title in the land. Many officials opposed to the idea, believing that only a man could rule China. But Wu had built a strong political network and maintained control of the government. Despite criticism, she established her own dynasty and ruled one of the world's largest empires. During her reign, China experienced economic growth, expanded agricultural production, and strengthened its civil service. Wu promoted talented officials based on merit rather than noble birth, giving more people the opportunity to serve in government. She also supported education, encouraged the spread of Buddhism, and expanded China's influence across Asia. However, her reign was also controversial. Historical records describe political rivals being removed from power, and some accounts accuse her of harsh punishments and palace intrigue. Because many official histories were written after her reign by scholars who opposed her, historians continue to debate which stories are factual and which may have been exaggerated. After ruling for about 15 years as emperor, Wu Zetian stepped down in 705 due to old age and declining health. She died later that year at the age of 81. More than 13 centuries later, Wu Zetian remains one of history's most fascinating leaders. To some, she was a visionary who broke barriers and strengthened an empire. To others, she was a ruthless ruler who would do anything to keep power. Perhaps the truth lies somewhere in between. One thing is certain. She changed history forever and proved that determination, intelligence, and ambition could overcome traditions that seemed impossible to break.